Good morning and happy Monday. I am Aaron Collier, and I'm here with the two best hosts in the whole entire world.
Robbie McIntosh.
And Ashama Rucker.
And we are so excited to bring y'all a very special edition of Inside Our Minds. What we mean by that is it is our first ever episode, and we have been looking forward to this moment for, Robbie, I'd say a very long time, right?
You bet it has been. We have been looking forward to it for a very long time.
I mean, you've been wanting to podcast for, good gracious, probably over a year now, right?
Yep, ever since I found that journalism, because when I was in middle school, I had the dream job, and that was to be a journalist. But I was concerned and worried over time that that wouldn't come true because I've been told that journalism is slowly moving away and is transforming to podcasting. Is my
Yeah.
mom?
Oh, dude, podcasting getting huge. I mean, it's nuts how big podcasting's got. So I'll do a little bit of introduction about me. I don't want to make this about me though, but I'll just a tiny little introduction. My family started group homes when I was 2016 when I was a senior out of high school, and I jumped right into it. I've been working here for 10 years. We have group homes, and we just started doing apartments, and guys like Robbie and a girl like Ashama, they have disabilities, right? And they're living on their own. And that is the coolest thing in the world. I cannot stand the word disabled because they are able to do everything that other people are able to do. It's just a different way. And parents out there that might have a kid with a disability, or even guys out there with disabilities, hey, you're able to one day live on your own. And we want to bring our voices to a platform so you can kind of see our path and see our journey. That is enough about me. Let's go over to Robbie. Robbie, what's your name? How old are you? What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
I am Robbie McIntosh. I am 29 years old, and there are a lot of good things that I enjoy doing in my free time. For instance, I started a new hobby. Hobbies are one, which is playing the piano. I enjoy practicing the piano in my free time. I also like being around other people, including my family, and I enjoy eating out. And although eating out cannot always be good for you, it can also, give you something to do. There are a lot of people that enjoy eating out, and I enjoy eating out just to save the effort of not having to cook like us at a certain time of week, but eating out is what I do best, and being out in the community and getting to
Mm-hmm.
know people too.
Yep. Percent. Ashama, what's your name? How old are you? What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
My name is Ashama Rucker. I am 48 years old. I am a mother of
Nice.
a 21-year-old who also had disabilities. I like to hang out with family, friends. I like to go bowling. I like to play basketball. I love to do exercise. I am a gamer. I love to go to church. I just like to do a lot of things.
Nice. Nice. And Robbie, back to you. What was it like? First off, what is your disability? And then second off, what was it like growing up with that disability?
Um, so grown up, so I have autism. Those of you who are listening who don't know what know that I don't know what disability I have autism. And what was it like growing up with it? To be honest with you, it's been like a huge amount of struggle. So when I was a little boy, I was I was born and raised in Wyoming, which is where my dad was from. He spent most of his growing up life there, and and then shortly thereafter, I moved to Northern Virginia. And Northern Virginia was where we found out about how a lot of this came along. My parents, I think, started teaching me how to say a couple of words, um, which obviously to me is, the starting point. They taught me how to say words, and even though if I say words, basically, I can't really say them clearly, and it's like, and so I had to have ABA therapists. I had to have the help of ABA and speech therapists, all over my life teach me how to do those things. And I think, I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, my mom took me to the doctor and beforehand, and I think the doctor said I was diagnosed with autism. But anyhow, long story short, I mean, you know, I could sing before I could speak, and people tell me all the time, "I enjoy listening to you hear you sing." That's because they hear my voice loudly when I sing in church. But the point is that, um, I learned my first word from Sesame Street, and eventually, my mom had a dream that someday she would be able to hear my voice again, and thankfully, with the help of a lot of, ABA therapists and speech therapists, that dream of me of them hearing my voices has likely come true. And not all people with autism eventually get that far or not at all in their life, and they're just not like that.
Yeah, but dude, I think that's beautiful, right? Like you started in this world as nonverbal, right? And now you have your voice. You definitely have your voice. You love to talk. And now you want to use your voice as something powerful and let the world know like, "Hey, look, I have autism. Who cares? That doesn't define me. Look
Yeah,
what I can do."
right,
That dude, that's beautiful.
right.
That is awesome.
Mhm.
Ashama, what was it like for you growing up with disability? What disability do you have?
Well, the disability I have is Newman syndrome. I never looked that up. Don't even want to look it up. Don't even want to know what Newman syndrome is. But they was like to me, it was like learning disabilities. And I guess of the growing.
Mhm.
So, me, I was just doing like regular things and it didn't even really bother me. I played basketball in school. I was singing at the age of 1. Um,
Singing at age of 1.
at singing,
That's good.
yes, I was singing at the age of 1. I was rapping at the age of 15. And I read about, Martin Luther King on the intercom when I was in school. So, the disability had really never stopped me for doing things that I really wanted to do in life.
Yeah, dude, I love that. Like, you started this question off with a banger. You said, "I've never looked this up." Why? Why do you need to look it up? You're a Shama rocker. That's all that matters, right? Just
Yes.
let a disability define you. I love that. I absolutely love that. Robbie, growing up in school and work, how'd you push through the challenges with having autism?
That's a very good question. I'd say basically that, through school and work, I kind of had a similar experience, I guess, that Ashama had where I was because, you know, I did this twice in my school career, maybe 3 times. So I could have done this in high school, but I can remember for the most part speaking on the morning announcements when I was in elementary school in 5th grade. I also did the same thing when I was um, in middle school, and that keeps it to the point. So one day when I was in middle school, there was somebody who said they were looking for someone to read the announcements, the morning announcements for read something about Autism Awareness Month on the morning announcements because April was Autism Awareness Month, but they couldn't find they needed somebody who had autism that could read it because they want someone who understands autism to read the announcement. And thankfully they chose me because I'm the only one with autism that can speak and do almost everything. So they chose me and I could every day, explain the do's and don'ts or basically everything that goes on with autism. And I could tell them, like, they asked what causes autism, and the answer is we don't know. And I can remember one day, saying how sometimes people with autism misunderstand people determining how they feel or not,
Mm.
and how that often is the case. And as I was reading that, I thought to myself, well, you know what? This kind of is the same thing with me too, because if they do that, I have the same struggle too. And then with work, I don't think I've really I think I may have worked at a job where I think I've had people this is not in my current job, but when I was doing an internship, I would have a boss said, "Please, do, do this right." You know, I wouldn't really say, you know, if it hurt my feelings or not, but it just made me feel uncomfortable. So I'd say very rarely at work I've had people correct me
Mhm.
or but there was one time where I got corrected about something and returning the keys at the front desk, and whoever was working there said she could have said, "Would you mind saying excuse me?" But instead she said it out of seriousness and sternness or whatever, saying, "You got to say excuse me." and I didn't really say how I felt because I just felt like it wasn't professional to do it. But I told her how sorry I was, told her that I felt embarrassed. She's like, "Don't be embarrassed. It's all good." I think that was the only time I had that experience. But work, everything's been going fine. I've gone through the trials and struggles, like, you know, how when I was little, my autism was bad and how the microphone at church bothered my ears, probably the organ, I'm not sure, but those are a little bit of the struggles I've experienced through school and work and all that. And the same thing with teachers too, hard to understand them and um and all that when they're angry and upset or whatever.
Yeah, well, the other thing too, like me and you have had some instances where I'm like coming to your apartment, I'll be like, Robbie, you need to get your cleaning done, or Robbie, you need to do this. And
Right.
I'm not mad at you at all, but sometimes it's hard for you to read tones.
Exactly.
Right? And we're comfortable with each other. So you'll look at me and be like, "Why are you angry at me?" I'm like, "Robbie, I promise I'm not angry, but you've made me learn that, hey, sometimes people with autism, they don't necessarily understand tone.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of be careful with how I word things because I don't want you ever thinking that I'm upset with you."
Right,
Right?
right, right.
Right? And I mean that's something I've learned. So,
Uh-huh.
Ashama, with you, so growing up, how'd you push through the challenges of your disability?
So my challenges was kind of hard until I had to make my challenges very easy. I wasn't a fast learner when I was in school. I was hanging around with the wrong crowd,
Mhm.
and plus I was being a class clown.
Me
So,
too.
and I was kind of being a bully. So, then I got a job, and that was kind of challenging, like working. I was working for Bearwood, the Navy base. That was a lot of challenging
Mhm.
because you had to do the cleaning how they want you to do the cleaning, like speak and span. I'm like, I do the cleaning at home, making sure everything's speak and span. How much speak and span
Mhm.
do you want the buildings to be? I mean, so that was like a bit challenging there with the job until I had a knee problem, so I had to quit my job
Mhm.
because of my knees.
Yeah.
And so I'm not even working anymore. So I'm home cleaning my apartment every day. I
And
clean
it's
my
spotless.
apartment
It looks
every
really
day,
Yep.
spotless. So I really don't have to do deep cleaning. I even clean after my dog. Oh yeah, I do have a dog. She's my ESA dog, and she helps me because I'm a fall risk.
Mhm.
So she helps me to um with my anxiety. She helps me with a lot of stuff. If I fell down, I could always go to her and pet her. And she seems like she knows what I go through in life. So it's like a bit challenging
Yeah.
there.
No, 100%. And I'll say this too, my dogs aren't they're not labeled the same, but they're my emotional support. Like, I absolutely love my dogs. So, Piper's awesome too, and it's cool. You're a doggy mom, and plus you're a mom to Jada?
Yes, I do have a Siberian Husky.
Mhm.
So they don't take commands very well. And they stubborn, but
Love to eat.
they love to eat human food and your food too, but they also love to cuddle.
Mhm.
And like when you're laying down, they lay right there beside you and know
That
to
just makes you
make
feel
sure.
good.
Yeah, so it makes sure that I'm okay. Like if I'm in the bathroom and she comes lay in front of the bathroom door to make sure that I'm good. She come in and checks on me, and then she'll walk out, and then she'll just lay there. So that's like our animal support dog.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So, Robbie, so if let's say there's a child right now with a disability, or let's say there's a parent with a child with disability and they're anxious about their future. They might be thinking, what does their future look like? Like, what is their disability going to hold them back? What would your advice to those people be? Like, just for you example, right? Like you started nonverbal and now you're living on your own. So what would be your advice to a little you right?
Yeah. And it kind of, would say, I would say what I've said many times to other people, including when I've heard someone say at a high school graduation, first of all, don't just make it your day, make it your life, run your own race and all that. But more importantly, don't ever let this is my advice to mothers or fathers or parents with disabilities or people with disabilities in general. Don't ever let someone tell you that you can't learn anything or that you can't accomplish anything or do whatever that is or that you're not good enough to learn or accomplish anything because you can. I mean, I have my own apartment. I can live on in it because I can clean it every single day. I can do whatever it is that I'm supposed to do. I can talk and I can have all sorts of different conversations, but as a friend, one of the lines I've heard many times is, as my parents say, "You do you. You run your own race, you form your own path, and do whatever it is you want to or what you're supposed to do. It's your path, it's your choice, and this is your day, and do, do whatever it is what you want to do, but don't ever let people say to you, "You can't do this because of your autism," or this, that, or the other. I've had that happen to me, and I just don't want that to be the case for anyone. But you do you, and don't let people tell anyone that they can't do this because of their disability or their autism. That's my advice to them.
I absolutely love that, Robbie. Love that. Ashama, same question to you. If you could give a child with disabilities advice growing up right now, or parents with a child of someone with your condition, what would that advice be?
That advice would be for you to be strong
Mhm.
and believe in God, eh, and to be able to do what you wanna do. Um, to go to school, learn, graduate, get a job, be
Don't
able
bully people.
be able to drive, don't bully. What has really helped me to learn was, my favorite thing, me and my mom will watch, but not together, um, is Dorman. Dorman teaches us not to judge people on what they go through or anything. He teaches us by people that have disabilities, their face skin, their whatever. He teaches not to judge by the book of the color. So basically, if you will sit and watch Dorman, he's on YouTube, and if you got on Facebook, and if you watches his episodes, it will help you to be able to understand you. So basically, with me, like my mom would tell me I don't have a disability, so I could really do what I need to do. Like I pay my own rent. Um, I at times I was paying my own phone bills. Like I'm able to do things. For the people that's in the like wheelchair and for the people that's not able to walk, do you. Be happy for who you are. Don't let nobody bully you. Don't let nobody judge you because of who you are, because a lot of people like us are getting bullied by other people and other parents and other other kids and stuff, and it's not right. So y'all do you, cause people that's in a wheelchair, they still can play basketball. They got a wheelchair basketball. So whatever that y'all goals that y'all have, y'all could do. They could still go to the prom. So whatever that the people have to do, just do it. And your parents will just have to support them. And we are supporters. I support my daughter of things that she do, and then I know that y'all parents support y'all of things that y'all do, of what y'all want to do. Do your dream. Never give up. Don't ever tell nobody that you a loser. You're gonna always be a winner.
And I mean, for what you just said too, I wish people could see your shirt right now. It says faith over fear. I mean, I think that's exactly how you're supposed to live your life. Faith over fear. Oh, there you go on the back. Faith over fear, even bigger letters. So I absolutely love that. Always faith over fear. Don't be scared of stuff, right?
Right.
Set your goal.
Set
Go
your
get that
goal,
goal.
trust in God,
Yep.
and you'll be successful.
Good things will happen. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. So, guys, that wraps it up for our first ever show. Do y'all have anything else y'all want to say before we?
Oh, I got one more thing to say. Once my book come out, I want y'all to check that book out. I am the first author of the book. The book is finally finished, so I will let y'all know with that book. And plus, I will also let y'all know when I'm gonna come out with my first single by me being a gospel rapper. And I just want to just thank everybody for listening. I want to thank all our supporters that's been following us on Instagram. We got a lot of followers and we want to continue. If you know somebody that has a disability that don't know what to do, they could follow our page and listen to our podcast and be able to learn something. And it would be amazing. And then you'll be like, hey, if she can do it or if he can do it, I could do it. Put your mind to
Yeah,
it
dude, I
and
love
never
that.
give up.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I think that's kind of the goal of this podcast too. Like, it's not a promotion for our company, but there's a lot of companies out there that do the same thing that we do, right? There's a lot of companies out there that allow adults with disabilities to live on their own and complete daily tasks just like everybody else, and we want everyone to know that. We want everyone to understand that, and we want to just kind of be the voice and the path that guides these people that mightn't necessarily feel like they're not enough or they're not able to
Right.
accomplish these goals. We want them to feel like, you know what, we're gonna set this goal and we're gonna go get it, right?
Right.
Anything else you want to say, Robbie?
Um, I would say, yeah, I just want to, like Ashama, appreciate everybody for tuning into our podcast, and I'd like to encourage you. I'm actually going to be advertising this to many of my friends, not just people that I work with, but people that I know really well, like people at my day program, because my day program, serves people who have physical disabilities, and this program, this podcast rather, is not designed for people who just have autism or learning disability. It is a program that is designed for people of disabilities of all types. So if I have my spirituality group on Tuesday, and when it gets to be my turn for time of reflections, which is a part of that program, I get to say, if you're looking for something to do, listen to our podcast. It talks about all about disabilities, and it's for disabilities of all types. And I'll send them the link and do anything and advertise it more quickly. And the more followers we have, the better. So I encourage you all to tune in and listen, and thank all of you listeners for listening and supporting us and listening to us thus far. Appreciate it.
Hey, and all of us here with Inside Our Minds, we hope you have a great week.
Yeah, no, wait.
Inside our minds, we will shine. They say we can't, we don't care. We write our own headline. Inside our minds, we will shine. We're goal set, goal get, and we always stay kind. Inside our minds, inside our minds, inside our minds. Welcome inside.